The Empiricism group members in order of appearance: Michael Barros, Ginger Ambron, Stephanie Harvey, Lastacia Evans, and Ashley Henry.
This presentation will briefly describe the general characteristics of empiricism and discuss the history of empiricism and identify early empirical philosophers. This presentation will describe the philosophical influence on nursing development and link the philosophy to a nursing theory. We'll describe how empiricism has influenced nursing research and evidence-based practice. And lastly, this presentation will describe how empiricism influences nursing praxis.
Empiricism includes observations that can be made utilizing the senses. The scientific method is used to test hypotheses. The data generated can then be utilized in evidence-based practice. According to Monti and Tingen, the researcher is an objective observer. Early empirical researchers, also known as positivism theorists, believed that empirical research could not include subjective human values. However, currently, Monti and Tingen discuss the idea of post-positivism. These authors conclude that post-positivism can include observations that are value-based and not everything can be proved or disproved.
Empiricism comes from the Greek word empiria, meaning experience. The empiric philosophy has its deepest roots in the writings of Aristotle. Aristotle believed that science is knowledge, that it is truth. He was the first philosopher to clearly recognize the aspects required for the acquisition of truth about nature, experience, and reason. Therefore, his work stands as the beginning of the scientific method. Many followed Aristotle's footsteps, but empiricism in modern times began life in the doctrines of Francis Bacon, Pierre Gassendi, Thomas Hobbes, and John Locke. These empiricists oppose intuition and rationality and rely heavily on experience and evidence, which made empiricism a popular philosophy during the rise of modern natural science in the 1600s.
The way in which empiricism influences nursing knowledge development is through a creative process. In this process, it's important to conceptualize different ideas, theories, and phenomena, meaning to give it conceptual meaning. You have to be able to creatively discern and incorporate the proper meaning and how it relates to the purpose and the application of the knowledge or the phenomena or the theory or the idea. Another important component is structuring the different ideas, organizing them. It's important to organize the concepts into a contextual structure with understanding of the larger structure in which all of this fits. There are several components to consider when one is attempting to create conceptual meaning. In order to do this effectively, you must first understand that all of this is based on empiric experience. Empiric experience meaning experience that can be proven and agreed on through sensory evidence. In creating conceptual meaning, one must consider word symbols and the different meanings. They're going to be interpreted by different people, and everyone's experiences are subjective, and people stand from different perspectives. And it's important to consider this when creating conceptual meaning. Creating conceptual meaning encompasses a greater understanding of an idea other than just the basic definition, including the full range of human emotions, thoughts, reactions, experiences, and ideas. And basically, it's about showing not only the idea of the phenomena, but the application of the phenomena as it relates to the human experience. The second component in the creative process of developing nursing knowledge through empiricism is the structuring and contextualizing of theory. This involves linking ideas in an organized and methodical way. Taking all of the concepts that you've come up with and the different facts, identifying them, defining them. This is very important to do in order to form a cohesive framework of knowledge in which all of this can be applied. One must consider all of the assumptions that may be presented that can challenge the empiric evidence philosophically. Contextualizing theory involves clarifying the context in which the theory is placed, as well as joining the different concepts and ideas by designing relationship statements. Empiricism is linked to countless theories and models, one of them being the Dreyfus model. This is a theory that describes the process in which people advance from novice to expert and breaks down this process into stages. It also explains how these stages are not necessarily linear or consistent. Sometimes through the process of moving from novice to expert, one might find themselves at a standstill or advancing more quickly than at another time. This model also focuses on competence. The way in which empiricism is linked to this theory, it's in several different ways actually. One is the way in which the theorists derive the concepts from empirical evidence using his senses, perceptions, and experiences. These were things that this theorist noticed in practice, and he was able to derive those facts and formulate them into the theory itself. The way in which the theorist defines the stages and places conceptual meaning, and the way in which the theorist structures all of this into the theory and links the many concepts in an organized manner.
Influence on nursing research. All research stems from the philosophy of empiricism as one seeks to find an answer to a question through means of experimentation. Empiricism has an influential impact on nursing research by way of developing nursing knowledge. The knowledge gained from empirical research is used to improve patient outcomes, nursing practice, and working environments. Impact on evidence-based practice. The most important product of nursing research is the implication of evidence-based practice to improve patient outcomes. The evidence is displayed through empirical research results. Quantitative measurements such as heart rate, blood pressure, oxygen saturation, and temperature yield statistical outcomes. These outcomes produce the evidence that is needed to advance nursing practice. Linking empirical research to current nursing practice. The knowledge gained from empirical research can be implemented into nursing practice through means of disease prevention and management. Several empirical research studies have been done on the management of type 2 diabetes. These studies have proven that effective management can be directly related to glucose control, diet, exercise, and hemoglobin A1C levels. This knowledge is used by nurses as they implement care plans and educate individuals to promote self-management of the disease process. Why empiricism? Benefits: provides a basis for the study of certain types of knowledge, facilitates a level of objectivity in science, clarifies the truth with regard to scientific facts, uses the scientific method to test hypotheses, provides generalizability to a larger population. Limitations: excessive control of variables, ignores other patterns of knowing as pertains to nursing knowledge, omits the humanistic approach to the nursing discipline, implementing empirical data to daily nursing practice, narrowed problem of focus.
Praxis can be described as the process in which a profession, such as nursing, is practiced. According to Cody, nursing praxis and practical reasoning are creative and interpersonal in the sense that they unfold in a context that is profound and unpredictable. In order for advanced practice nurses to improve the field of nursing, they must create a connection between theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge. Empiricism is a great way to bridge these two concepts and advance the role of the advanced practice nurse. As previously defined in the presentation, empiricism is the notion that knowledge comes from physically observable evidence and data. Empiricism continues to influence our nursing practice today. One of the most notable ways that it influences the profession is through evidence-based practice. For example, an institution recently conducted a systematic review on the benefits of neutropenic precautions in the solid tumor oncology patient population. The institution compiled data from previous studies that showed the incidence of infection of patients where neutropenic precautions were used versus patients who utilized universal precautions instead. The data showed that the use of neutropenic precautions for solid tumor patients was not more effective than universal precautions. The knowledge gained from this study was done through empiricism. The study looked at the laboratory values for the patients and compared the data between the two populations and then drew a conclusion based off the data. Multiple studies were conducted to minimize the flaws that commonly occur in research and case studies. Giuliano, a doctoral student, wrote an article relating empiricism to nursing, and in the article illustrated the way to bridge the gap between knowledge and clinical practice. Another example of the influence of empiricism in nursing practice comes from this article. In the article, Giuliano analyzes a research study on the accuracy of various forms of temperature measurement. It was found that oral temperature measurement had a higher correlation with the pulmonary artery temperature. Pulmonary artery temperature levels have been deemed the gold standard for the most accurate measurement of an individual's core temperature. Even this gold standard was attained through empiricism. This knowledge regarding the most accurate means to obtain a person's temperature is practiced by many different fields of nursing.
Empiricism is the philosophical science that is based on observation from the senses. This observation yields experimentation via the scientific method. Empiricism has greatly impacted the nursing profession through means of nursing praxis, knowledge development, and nursing research. Nursing praxis can be described as a process in which a profession is practiced, and empiricism contributes to nursing praxis today through evidence-based practice. The development of nursing knowledge is directly related to empiricism, as research results are used in the structure of concepts, phenomena, and theories. Nursing research stems from empiricism as one conducts experiments to improve patient outcomes and working environments. Empiricism is integrated into current nursing praxis through the implementation of evidence-based practice.
Thank you for reading and listening to the Empiricism presentation. Please direct all questions to the Empiricism group through the appropriate forum on the Sakai Learning Management System.